Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Marte, I come from Norway and I love makeup, and today I'm so excited to be showing you guys the products that I have from Shellwe Makeup. A lot of you have maybe heard of them before, or at least now, since they released some pressed flakies, which you will maybe kind of see that they're not that flaky with my swatches. But I ordered 5 of the flakies. I can tell you the colors right now. I have Lingering Heart, I have Dry River-Bed, I have Waterfall, I have Autumn Leaves, and I have Mighty Desert. And then I also picked up right before they were revealing the pressed multichromes, I ordered this one, which is the Liana palette, which has 2 multichromes, one super sparkly shadow and one matte shadow. So I just figured I would do some swatches for you guys. And I am wearing Dry River-Bed on my eyes today, but I did not film any tutorials or anything. But I might do that later if you're interested in seeing some looks with some of these shadows, so just tell me if you're interested in seeing some looks with any of these. But this video is going to be swatches, so let's just get started. Oh, and I did do a wear test, so stay tuned to the end of the video if you want to see how one of the shadows, Dry River-Bed, ended up looking after 7 hours. I'm going to start out swatching Autumn Leaves, which is a yellow with a very bright lime shift, which you can't really tell just from the pan right here in this lighting situation, but I definitely feel like you can see it now immediately when I have it on my finger. You can see that it's a lot more green toned. So I'm just going to start by swatching it right here. And of course I will be showing with different lighting once I have the full swatch. So here we have the full swatch, and it is really like electric neon green, but it goes to almost a turquoise. Yeah, I think you can see here. Still a little bit too bright, to be honest, so I'll just have to turn down the lighting a bit more. I hope that you can see the shifts I'm talking about. I don't think you can see the super bright green, or it's a little bit hard for me to tell, but I mean, okay, here you can see it. Here you can see it right in the middle there, and then it just goes through blue as well. And this one, in all of the swatches I've seen, it doesn't really look, or not in the swatches, but all in all the looks I've seen with this one, it doesn't look that intense, but this one is really shifty and it's really obvious in real life, so I think it's just the fact that the cameras don't catch all of these shifts that well, but this one, I'm so happy I picked it up. It's so beautiful. Next up we have the shade Waterfall, which is a really light, almost minty green with a lot of beautiful sparkles. It has a almost warm glow to it as well, but I think you'll have to see the swatch to be able to see that. And this one is maybe the most flaky one of the ones that I picked up, and I can feel like it's a little bit more wet than the others as well. So here you have it on the finger. Still can't really see all of the sparkles that I see in real life. So I'm just gonna swatch it, so hopefully you can tell a little bit. Yeah, you can immediately see that warm glow. And this one is really beautiful. This one is one that will transform quite a bit as well if you use it with other shadows underneath. It's just very stunning. So this one you can immediately see it when I have the lighting from the side going towards the shadow. You could really see that warm shift, you can see the green, you can see the more minty. Wow, this is such a beautiful shadow, and I just love those warm shifts when the shift is basically orange. That's like my favorite kind of shift nowadays. But I will also say that this one creased a lot on me when I was wearing it. I will show you that afterwards, but yeah, it's really beautiful and I'm definitely going to make it work. And this one I think is my absolute favorite of the bunch. This one is Dry River-Bed, and it reminds me so much of the Pastel Roses UK Dragonfly. So I'm just going to swatch it so we can see how gorgeous this is. It has like a very warm pink and orange shift, and it's just very intense. So here I will be swatching Dry River-Bed. You can see how bright that green base is as well. It's just so pretty. That's the one I'm wearing on my eyes today as well. And then we have Dry River-Bed Close Up, and you can see it has a little bit of the same kind of colors as the previous ones. It's green, it has warm shifts, it has pink. It's just a very, very beautiful shadow. It's one of my favorite types of shadows nowadays. As I said with the previous one right here with the warm shift, I just can't get enough of it. So very happy to have this shadow, and this one wore a lot better than the previous one. And here you can really see all of those shifts. It's just very pretty. So that is Dry River-Bed. Next I'm going to swatch is Lingering Heart, and I'm curious if I'm going to capture all of the shifts in this shadow because it's like super multi-chrome. I mean, some of the other ones aren't that multi-chrome when it comes to like the yellow and green. That one is like, I mean, I guess it is a multi-chrome because you have some blue there as well, but this one is like the whole rainbow, literally the whole rainbow. It is so beautiful. And here we have it on the finger. Doesn't really show all the shifts before I change up the lighting a little bit. But this one, wow, this one feels so creamy. This makes me a little bit worried that it might crease on me because this one felt almost even creamier than the waterfall shade. And that one creased a lot. But I will just have to update you guys. Maybe do an updated video, but I will try to also leave a comment in this video that I'm posting. And here you have Lingering Heart with a different lighting. It's a very intense multi-chrome, as you can see. It has a blue, almost purpley base, and then it has a shift that goes from orange to pink to like gold, or is it like pink to orange to gold to green. And then I don't think it touches blue, but it does have that kind of bluish kind of base. It's just very intense. So pretty. So that is Lingering Heart. Last but not least, we have Mighty Desert, which I wasn't sure if it was a multi-chrome. And I mean, I'm still not sure if it's a multi-chrome because it doesn't necessarily shift, but it does have a lot of different sparkles in it, as you can see. So I definitely don't regret picking this one up. It's really, really pretty. Oh, and here you can see I burned my finger on the toaster this morning. Or was it yesterday? No, it was this morning. It was painful. Yeah, but here we have Mighty Desert. I'm going to swatch it so we can see how sparkly and pretty it is. Wow, that is super shiny if you compare it with the other ones, and those are shiny too. But like, that is some really beautiful shine. There is Mighty Desert. I don't know, is this a multi-chrome? Do you see like a lot of shifts? I mean, I guess it's a little bit of a shift. It goes more through a little bit turquoise and to blue. And I guess it's a little bit of pink on this one as well. But I mean, compared to the other ones, it doesn't really look like it has that much of a pink shift. But it does have a lot of beautiful sparkles. And like that by itself is just so stunning. So that is a really, really pretty shadow as well. That is Mighty Desert. So all in all, these are the 5 shades I picked up, and I really am happy with them. I just have to try them more and see if they work for me on my hooded, slightly oily lids. I mean, I guess I could say I have oily lids, but they're not like super oily. Oh, you're gonna really see those warm shifts in these shadows. It's so pretty. Wow. Okay, so I'm not going to do any looks in this video, but I will see if I can find a few comparisons, so let's just do that right now. For the first comparisons I'm doing, it is Autumn Leaves, right there. Then we have Pastel Roses Citrus. This is way more of a satin shadow. And then I have Glam Shop Catchy. So none of these are really that similar. It's just the ones that I had, and I figured a lot of you guys probably also have like the Glam Shop Multichrome, maybe something from the Pastel Roses, because I think that this one from Pastel Roses is relatively similar. It's just a completely different formula, and it's also more of a duochrome instead of a multichrome, like you can see with Autumn Leaves. And Catchy just has like a green shift, and it does shift through yellow too, but you can see that it's completely different. So I mean, at least now you get to see like the difference in texture. The Glam Shop one is almost more textured, even though the Shellwe ones are supposedly pressed flakies. Yeah, but here we have Autumn Leaves from Shellwe, then it is the Pastel Roses UK Citrus, and Catchy by Glam Shop. Next I'm going to compare Shellwe Waterfall, and I don't have anything similar to this actually, at least not that I can recall. So this is Neutron Star by Tara Moons. You can see the base is completely different, and the shifts are different as well. And this is not even showing the different shifts that you can see right now, so completely different shadows, but I figured I would just swatch it. And I was kind of thinking I should just swatch the other ones, the dry River-Bed one and the dupes that I have, or not the dupes but comparisons that I have for that one, on the same hand while these are still here, because I feel like some of them might be a little bit similar to Waterfall as well, just different depth of course. So I'm just going to start with the obvious ones. This one is Shellwe Dry River-Bed, and this one is Dragonfly by the Pastel Roses. So Shellwe Dry River-Bed and Dragonfly by the Pastel Roses UK. Are they identical? No. I feel like there's a little bit of a difference in the base, maybe? They're very similar. You definitely don't need both. I'm gonna try to see with different lighting. I mean, I feel like Shellwe is actually a little bit smoother, which is kind of funny because that one is, again, a pressed flaky. And I kind of have to say I prefer Dragonfly. It's just a little bit more textured, but I'm not mad that I purchased the Dry River-Bed one from Shellwe either, because it's beautiful and I want all kinds of shadows like this. But are they like exactly the same apart from like the formula? It's kind of hard to tell. What do you think? I want to know down below in the comment section. Do you think those are like dupes? Obviously the formula is going to be different because they're different brands, but maybe it's the same pigment. Anyway, those were the two that I was sure were going to be very similar. But I also want to swatch Suicide by the Pastel Roses. I just wanted to like show you, in case you have this one and you're wondering, should I get one of these other ones? And this one is Venomous by Glam Shop. So you can see they're very different, but I mean, they're somewhat in the same color family at least. So I'm just going to point at the different ones and say the names again in case it's hard to like remember all of the different names. So here is Shellwe Waterfall, then it's Tara Moon's Neutron Star. Here it's Shellwe Dry River-Bed. Here it's Dragonfly by the Pastel Roses UK. This is also Pastel Roses, but this one is called Suicide. And then it is Glam Shop Venomous. So not really that similar, the last ones, but Dragonfly is definitely like, I would kind of call it a dupe, to be honest. So yeah, those are the ones I had here. Now I will compare Dreamscape by Pastel Roses with Shellwe right here. Shellwe Cosmetics Lingering Heart, and then this one is Dreamscape. I mean, I feel like these are basically the same, just apart from the base of the shadow. They seem to have like the same shift, but you can see Lingering Heart is quite a bit deeper than Dreamscape. Here you see them a little bit more close up too. Gosh, they're so pretty though. My hand is totally sparkly like right now because of all the shadows that I tried to remove. But yeah, that is Lingering Heart right here compared to Pastel Rose's Dreamscape. So I'm trying to fit Mighty Desert right here. That is the one from Shellwe. Then I have Even Better from Glam Shop. That is one of their multi-chromes. And then I have from the Pastel Roses UK, Hypnosis. So there we have those. I actually think these two are dupes for each other, just a little bit different formulas. But Mighty Desert really doesn't have all that much of a shift, as you can see. So that's kind of why I'm questioning a bit if it's a real multi-chrome or not. But again, it is really beautiful. It's just not necessarily a multi-chrome. So yeah, that is Mighty Desert in the middle, and then it is Glam Shop Even Better, and then it is Hypnosis by the Pastel Roses UK. And my favorite would definitely be Glam Shop because it looks a little bit more textured and sparkly, whereas the others are a little bit more smooth. I figured I would also swatch the Shellwe Makeup Liana palette for you guys. It is such a beautiful palette. It's just 4 shadows. But you can see that they are very shifty, like at least that red and also this green one, which you can't necessarily tell too much right now. But it does have this one green matte shade. This one is relatively deep on my skin tone. It's like a medium, I guess it's just a medium too dark maybe, shadow. And then this one is incredibly sparkly. It's kind of like a silvery champagne because it's not like straight up silver, or I mean, it might be, but it has a little bit of a hint of some champagne in there, I feel like. Maybe it's just because I used it together with the warmer shade here, but those together look so stunning. And then this one is obviously my favorite. It's so pretty. You can tell how multi-chrome it is. It creases a little bit on me, but not too much, and definitely something I want to reach for, even though it creases a little bit. And then it's this deep one, which I haven't tried yet. It's just a very deep, very deep green to blue multi-chrome. But like, this is such a beautiful color story for just being 4 shadows. You can do a lot of different looks with this. I would have maybe made the green even darker, but I don't know. I'm really happy with how this looks. I need to remove this one and I'll just go ahead and swatch it just quickly for you guys. Like, these shadows are not joking. They're so good. Just look at that. And here you have them with the different lighting. Just look at that red multi-chrome. It is so insanely pigmented and shifty. Oh, and I'm really curious how this red is going to look compared to the Glaminatrix multi-chrome that they came out with. I think it's called a Woodfire bundle. I ordered it, so it's on its way. It's actually in Norway right now, so it should be here beginning of next week, and I think that's pretty close to this one. Maybe it's a little bit lighter. I kind of hope so, because I would love to have this kind of multi-chrome in a lighter version. But like, this palette, I got it for 30 bucks, and they do have smaller versions as well. I don't remember exactly what that one costs. Okay, so I just double checked, and it actually costs $15 US for the smaller version of this, and I would have kind of picked that one up instead, but it was free shipping, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to take the big one. And I'm not mad at it. These are so beautiful, super easy to make, everyday looks even. I did that, and I will see if I can put up some photos of that, because I know I took some photos, I just don't know if I posted anything. But yeah, I'm really happy with this palette and I definitely recommend it, but just to do be aware that it might crease a little bit if you have hooded and oily eyes. And those were all of the swatches of both of the pressed Flakes and the Liana palette, and I hope that it was helpful to see them in different lighting and see a few comparisons, even though they're not necessarily dupes. So I kind of did a wear test today just because I did use Waterfall yesterday and it ended up creasing quite a bit, and I completely forgot to mention, but I did get a free eyeshadow primer with my order. It says, okay, I'm not gonna say it because I don't even know what language this is. It's not, I think, Chinese. It looks like it's some kind of Russian or something. But I did try this one on one eye and then I used my Glam Glue on the other, and I will leave up a picture of the Glam Glue one here and the Shellwe one here, and you can see the difference. So actually the Shellwe one creased a lot more than the Glam Shop primer side. Oh, and I need to mention that the photos that I took and showed you right now, those were taken after 14 hours. So like, that's a long time, but I will say that the creasing had already happened when I came back from work, which is about, I guess, 6-7 hours or something, 8 hours. I'm not sure, but somewhere around that, and it had creased, but of course it went even worse during the last hours of the wear time. And that was the shade Waterfall, which is kind of the most flaky ones of the bunch. And so I decided to kind of do the same today and see how it would end up looking. So I will just show you guys close-up right now from earlier today when I was filming the close-up. So I put this makeup on around 6 a.m. this morning, and now it's over 3. So it's been about 9 hours with this makeup on. And I just wanted to show you how the Shellwe, is it Shellwe or Shellwe? Okay, Shellwe eyeshadow is looking. I used the Glam Shop Glam Glue underneath, which really helps with the longevity of my eyeshadows. But I'm just going to tap on a little bit more just to kind of reapply it. Oh, it is so pretty, and I think that it would actually maybe work if I just press it a little bit and see if I can get some of the binder out, but I don't find this to be bad at all for the wear that I've already had with the shadow. 7 hours, that's pretty good, and it's not that bad. Like, you can't even see it unless I stretch my eye. So there it is. It's a fresh layer, and I'm just going to show you with a little bit of different lighting, just so you can see all of the sparkles. So you can see that it's very intense, but it does smooth out really nicely on the lid. It doesn't look chunky or flaky at all, to be honest, once you have it on the eye. So I really like this shade. So yeah, that's how the wear test went, and right now it's been maybe 1 or 2 hours more. It's almost 5 o'clock, it's 4:44. So it's been a little bit more time, and it still looks really good. It's a little bit kind of creasing happening. I'm not even going to zoom you in, but I'm still kind of impressed enough with these shadows, and I will just try to kind of repress the shade Waterfall because that's the one that creased quite a bit on me yesterday. All in all, I'm pretty happy considering how long I wore Waterfall anyway, and I'll just try to press out some of the binder. I have that all in my Instagram story highlight. If you want to see it, then it's the highlight that is called Odin's Eye, so you can just check that out, because this Waterfall shade did kind of remind me a little bit of what I experienced with the Odin's Eye shadows, just so you're aware of that if you also have kind of creasing happening sometimes. Maybe at least that shadow isn't for you, but for me it's not that big of a deal as long as I can fix it myself. But I think that's actually it for this video. Just before I end, I did want to mention that I just bought this, what is it called again? It's called Romand Juicy Lasting Tint, and this one is in the shade that is called number 8 Apple Brown, and that's what I'm wearing today, and I love it so much already. I'm so obsessed with it. I also have the Lasting Water Tint, which I haven't tried yet, but these are like $10 on Roman's website. They're supposed to be like dupes for the Rare Beauty tinted lip oils, but these ones came out way before, so it's more like Rare Beauty was inspired by these ones, I feel like, and that's something I got from Imperfectly M here on YouTube, so definitely check out their channel because they create a lot of awesome content, and they were the one who got me onto these lip tints, and I'm so obsessed already, even though I just got them today. If you have tried Shellwe Makeup before yourself, I would love to hear your experience with the brand, because for me it's a new brand and this is kind of just a first impression, although I have done a few wear tests, but I'm gonna be keeping on trying them out and I'm super excited to see what they have in store for the future. But thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you in my next video. Bye!